My VIP cohort. I want to tell a story. Something that resonates with me deeply. I want to explain a time when I was in the Smoky Mountains. I was born and raised in North Carolina. And I had a back and forth relationship from there to Maryland and Cecil County area. The thing I want to describe to you is when I was in the Smoky Mountains, there's normally fog in the morning. And the fog in the morning descends down. And if you climb high enough above the mountains, you feel like you've seen heaven. Each one little island in the distance. And I recall the spot named Siler Bald. It's pretty beautiful. It's a good hike out there. Yeah, it's open pasture on the top mountain side where no trees block the view and you can just observe and see the beauty of what is around. And in that point, sitting there on this little log and just seeing that if things ended at that point, I've lived. And that was the thing that gave me a lot of peace. I'm glad I've lived to this point now, and I intend to live longer into the future. Yet that peace that I had there, hiking in the mountains, really gave me a sense of purpose and finding oneself that no other thing really has matched. Too often, we try to look for the new trend, market, and so forth, rather than slow it down and go outside, sit in nature, and see what you can find. We keep trying to force things into the way of winning. And it's a good recipe if you need to grind it in those points that you have. Yet if you don't have no taste of that before then, it doesn't make the living any better. There's a word called eudaimonia, living the good life in Greek. Excuse me. And I think nature is that regard of it. And here's why. When you look at nature, it's not telling you words directly. It's showing images and how we interact with it, oddly enough. And when we have the ability to stop hearing all these voices and just watch and observe, it allows the peace to come over us. Yet the support that we go after is where we take our interaction to a further impact. And that's something that's worthwhile in every pit of capacity. And that stillness that we find, I can't ever find something that matches it. And I implore you to go out there and figure this out for you. Get a pack. Go out there and do what you got to do to find yourself. And it doesn't have to be right now. But just keep that in mind. If you have the ability to, go for it. If you're coming to a thing where no matter how much you're pushing at it, nothing's getting through, it might be the best time to just throw on a pack and go out there. It might save you years, because I've never found something of equal match to it. My imagination could run greatly walking through those woods, even if my foot was in a little pain because of just going and having that weight on your back. When you're in your mind and you just start observing, looking at the nature, the trees, the vegetation, it all just comes like a little maze, but it unveils itself, every curve, every wind, every height that you ascend and descend. One moment. all the wildlife. It's just a beauty. Sometimes when we travel and we go away from a civilization into just the barren landscape of things and see how things were made without man interjecting. We can grow things, we can put seeds, but let's look at it where it's just doing its thing. It's always at work. It's silent. It's always growing. There might be a little brush here, movement there, but destruction is the only thing that makes loud noises. I think even Confucius even iterated on that at one point. With the new knowledge I found, I wonder how well the new part of my imagination would be on that. Because the time that I did these hikes, it was more around 13 and 14 years old. That's where it was the most. And it was just so surreal. When I think in the hard times that I have right now, I always refer back to it, where the nature just was at ease. All the stresses didn't really matter as much. They were still there. It never left. But it didn't have as much of a grip. And that is just... You might be thinking I'm some wise old person or some dumb spouting off things. Yeah, there's just that thing about being home. That is home. Not the house with the family and all that. It's just being around in that nature, the imagination that can run, that can do things, and see things beyond imagining. When I go into my thought, I sometimes think of how I'm walking on the trail again. Every turn, every wind. Running cross country out there. I was a cross country runner in middle school and beginning of high school. 1 year, and it was just awe. That's all. It was a huge amount of awe at it. The joy of that was paramount. The Smoky Mountains are beautiful. The fog descending and ascending, the days that arise, the simplicity and hospitality. We do have our quirks and our downfalls. Yet if you can just go there, see the tourist sites and look about, it's wonderful. I'm reminiscing because I think parts of me are great because of it. And I don't believe it truly ever leaves us as much as we try to leave it. It's always a part of our story. It doesn't have to take the wheel, but it is a part of what happened. And it's for us to decide, how do we take the lessons, the joys, the loves, the losses, all into an account and see where the lesson remains. It's evil at times, how some people can act and do things that are just heinous. And we ask why, we wonder why. I never really went into the why myself. I see it in others. Merely I said it was just normal. I became numb. So numb. And the decisions of others always fell onto my shoulders. And I tried to put on the weight that was not ready for me. But I took it anyways. and it made the greater man. But at what cost? That cost? Do I regret? No. I never regret it because of all the things that lead up to now, it's a smile that I can have. Because at points in my life, I was just like, I'm okay with it being over now. Maybe it should be over. What right do I have to keep on going? And then you do keep going. And that gratitude sets in, the humility. And when I picked up books and then I went deeper on them, something beautiful emerged.